Okay. Very good. Okay, thank you, Praji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think Mataji, we can start with the Radha Madhava. So, as usual, we want, or you will repeat alone?
No, if you can, I will repeat, Prabhu. Yes. Because we are continuously doing the same now. So I would like to repeat you after you.
No, I will lead, or you will repeat also.
You can lead, Prabhuji, I will repeat. No issue, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. Krishna. We'll start with Radha Madhava, right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari.
Yashodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana,
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana,
Yashodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana,
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana,
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Harinam Sankirtan ki,
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai,
Guru Maharaj ki,
Jai,
Virendraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we can start with the verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you, all devotees. Welcome for our Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, Srimad Bhagavatam reading morning session. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall we start, Prabhuji? Shimona Prabhuji and Sudarshan Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So already Srimara Prabhuji welcomed all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis assembled over here. So today's verse is Bhagavatam verses 4.19.36. So before getting into the sloka, we will do the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Utirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So today's verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 4.19.36. So I will recite this sloka for 3 times. Ebir Indropasamsrishte Pakhandeir Haribhirjanam Hriyamanam Vijakshvainam Yaste Yajnadrik Ashwamut Ebir Indropasamsrishte Pakhandeir Haribhirjanam Hriyamanam Vijakshvainam Yaste Yajnadrik Ashwamut Ebir Indropasamsrishte Pakhandeir Haribhirjanam Hriyamanam Vijakshvainam Yaste Yajnadrik Ashwamut. Hare Krishna. Anybody wish to recite, repeat this sloka?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Ebir Indropasam Shrishtai Pakhandeir Hari Virjanam Hriyamanam Vichakshvainam Yaste Yajnadruk Ashwamat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 19, Text number 36. Ebir Indrobasam Srishtai Pakhandeir Haribirjanam Hriyamanam Vijakshvainam Yaste Yajnadrik Ashwamut. Thank you.
Krishna, anybody from
Krishna.
other side? Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yebhirindropasamsrishtai Paghandairharibhirjanam Hriyamanam Vijakshvainam Yaste Yajnadhrugashwamut. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. From Mataji side, anybody would like to repeat?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Please, Mataji.
एभिरिन्द्रोपसंसृष्टै पाखण्डैर्हारिभिर्जनं प्रियमाणं विचक्ष्वैनं यस्ते यज्ञदृक् अश्वमोत्.
Thank you, Mataji. Synonyms. Abhi, by these. Indra Upasamsrishte, created by the king of heaven, Indra. Paganthe, sinful activities. Haribhi, very attractive to the heart. Janam, the people in general. Hriyamanam, being carried away. Vichakswa, just to see. Yenam, this. Ya, one who. Te, your. Yajnadrik, creating a disturbance in the performance of sacrifice. Ashwamat, who stole the horse. Translation. One second. So like translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Just to see how Indra, the king of heaven, was creating a disturbance in the midst of the sacrifice by stealing the sacrificial horse. These attractive sinful activities he has introduced will be carried out by the people in general. Guruji would like to repeat the translation. Srimad Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation. Just see how Indra, the king of heaven, was creating a disturbance in the midst of the sacrifice by stealing the sacrificial horse. These attractive sinful activities he has introduced will be carried out by the people in general.
Thank you, Guruji.
Purport, anybody reading, or I will proceed? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please, somebody can read the purport. Any Prabhujis or Madhajis can voluntarily.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.21. Yatyat acharadi shreshtas tattat evetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurude logastat anuvartade. Whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. For his own sense gratification, King Indra thought to defeat Maharaja Prithu in the performance of 100 horse sacrifices. Consequently, he stole the horse and hid himself amid so many irreligious personalities, taking on the false guise of a sannyasi. Such activities are attractive to the people in general, therefore they are dangerous. Lord Brahma thought that instead of allowing Indra to further introduce such irreligious systems, it would be better to stop the sacrifice. A similar stance was taken by Lord Buddha when people were overly engrossed in the animal sacrifices recommended by Vedic instructions. Lord Buddha had to introduce the religion of non-violence by contradicting the Vedic sacrificial instructions. Actually, in the sacrifices, the slaughtered animals were given a new life, but people without such powers were taking advantage of such Vedic rituals and unnecessarily killing poor animals. Therefore, Lord Buddha had to deny the authority of the Vedas for the time being. One should not perform sacrifices that will induce reversed orders. It is better to stop such sacrifices. As we have repeatedly explained, due to the lack of qualified Brahminical priests in Kali Yuga, it is not possible to perform the ritualistic ceremonies recommended in the Vedas. Consequently, the Shastras instruct us to perform the Sankirtana Yajna. By the Sankirtana sacrifice, Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his form of Lord Chaitanya, will be satisfied and worshipped. The entire purpose of performing sacrifices is to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna is present in his form of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, people who are intelligent should try to satisfy him by performing Sankirtana Yajna. This is the easiest way to satisfy Lord Vishnu in this age. People should take advantage of the injunctions in different shastras concerning sacrifices in this age and not create unnecessary disturbances during the sinful age of Kali. In Kali Yuga, men all over the world are very expert in opening slaughterhouses for killing animals, which they eat. If the old ritualistic ceremonies were observed, people would be encouraged to kill more and more animals. In Calcutta, there are many butcher shops which keep a deity of goddess Kali, and animal eaters think it proper to purchase animal flesh from such shops in hope that they are eating the remnants of food offered to goddess Kali. They do not know that goddess Kali never accepts non-vegetarian food because she is a chaste wife of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is also a great Vaishnava and never eats non-vegetarian food, and the goddess Kali accepts the remnants of food left by Lord Shiva. Therefore, there is no possibility of her eating flesh or fish. Such offerings are accepted by the associates of goddess Kali, known as Bhutas, Pishachas, and Rakshasas. And those who take the prasada of goddess Kali in the shape of flesh or fish are not actually taking the prasada left by goddess Kali, but the food left by the Bhutas and Pishachas.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanadimirantasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dedasti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudavadagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarchatam Sahanarigunadanditam Tam Sajivam Swadvedam Savadudam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahanarelida Shri Vishakha Nidamsha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनि नामिने नमाचार्यपताय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदय नगरग्रामधारिणे नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna. So we are in fourth canto, 19th chapter, verse number 36. So before getting into today's verse in detail, we'll just have a preview of the previous verses. As I'm sure about this, that all the devotees were continuously, regularly attending our classes, everybody having a nice idea about the entire chapter. Then also we'll have a small concise preview about this chapter. So the chapter's name is known as King's Prithu's 100 horse sacrifice. So the previous chapter, milking of the earth by Prithu Maharaj. That the situation, as we all know, that Prithu Maharaj's father Vena Maharaj was not at all doing any religious activities, and he was disturbing all the Brahmanas and all the subject of his country, and he was demolishing all the temples and all. And because of that, all famine, everything had happened, and Mother Earth was not releasing anything necessary for the welfare of the entire subject, and Prithu Maharaj got angry and he started milking the earth. And there was a conversation between Prithu Maharaj was too much angry towards Mother Earth, and there was a detailed conversation between Mother Earth and Prithu Maharaj. And finally, for the welfare of the entire subject of his country, because he was the king, Prithu, so his duty is to support all his subject. If they are lacking something, it is the duty of a king to provide all the needed or necessities to the entire subject of his country. So for that purpose, he was conducting 100 Ashwamedha Yaga. So 100 almost he performed in he started initiating this Ashwamedha Yaga, the place where the Saraswati river flows east. That place is known as Brahmavarta, and it was controlled by Swayambhuva Manu. So he started performing Ashwamedha Yaga, and by seeing his opulences and arrangements for all these yagas, Indra, the king of heaven, he became envious towards this Maharaja Prithu, and because he was actually, he is known as Shata Kradu. That means he already conducted 100 Ashwamedha Yaga. Because of that, he is sitting in the position of a king of heaven. So because actually here Prithu Maharaj was conducting this yaga for the welfare of his complete subject of his country, but he is also a Satyavasha avatar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Indra, for his material benefit and to fulfill its material desires, he conducted 100 Ashwamedha Yaga, and he was he was enjoying all the opulences because of that. So he became jealous, and even he became envious to Prithu Maharaj. He was fearful, afraid that if he will conduct, Prithu Maharaj will conduct all these 100 Ashwamedha Yaga, so that he can be able to take Indra's position. So because of that, he thought to make some impediments not to fulfill this 100 Ashwamedha Yaga. So when he was conducting this Ashwamedha Yaga, Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he is a Shaktavesha Avatara, actually he was a Jivatma, but when Jivatma became empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is like a Shaktavesha Avatara. So when he was conducting this Ashwamedha Yaga, Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Lord Vishnu, he himself present in the arena of this sacrifice. So when he was present in this arena, all the other demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all the higher elevated personalities of upper planetary system, all were present with because they all accompanied with the Supreme Personality of God. Because whenever Krishna comes in this material world, he used to not to come alone, because all his associates used to come. It is the duty of demigods to accompany the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all they all came along with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all lots of devotees and lots of sages and the people, elevated personalities from Kinnara Loga, Apsara Loga, and Gandharva Loga, all they came and they praised the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prithu Maharaj also, and also they brought so many present like gift for Prithu Maharaj. But Prithu Maharaj was totally dependent, surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the nature of a devotee. If a devotee, he surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna says in 18.66, like he will take care of all the sinful activities of his devotees. So if he Prithu Maharaj has conducted any even not Prithu Maharaj, if any pure devotee, if he is in any he's suffering from any sinful activities after conducting sinful activities, but he is doing service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrendering. That is the main thing. If you are surrender unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will definitely take care of all the sinful activities. So Prithu Maharaj was such a great devotee, and because of that he came, because Lord Krishna is present in everybody's heart as a super soul. So he came into this sacrificial arena, and all the other people or the elevated personalities also started glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he when he was conducting the sacrifice before everything was lacking. All the subject of this country was lacking. All these things, all famine, droughts, everywhere, all these things were present in this in their country. But after conducting the sacrifice, this earth is to be like a milk-giving ocean. It's considered as a same like a Kamadhenu. So Srila Prabhupada given why it's considered as Kamadhenu, because Kamadhenu cow is not a normal cow. Kamadhenu is also known as Surabhi, and Surabhi cow gives what all things necessary for the in spiritual world. If if need to conduct any main program or anything, she will provide the necessary items, not for a single time, for many times she will supply. So same way, when Prithu Maharaj was conducting the sacrifice, actually sacrifice is meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means Vishnu, we have to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when we please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, definitely he will maintain the lacking things. So he was, by doing this sacrificial, sacrifice, the earth was supplying all the items. And we should understand one thing, that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead created this universe, at that time everything was provided for the welfare of the entire subject, not only this human being but also these animals and all the other trees, aquatic, all these 6 type of jivas, everything was present in this universe. And people they are thinking that we won't work harder, we won't get in, but it's already present in this earth. But we are one thing is lacking us, we are not doing any sacrifice. So in different yugas, different sacrifices are were there. So this yuga, it is actually a sacrifice means a yajna, that is like a Sankirtana yajna, because in this Kali Yuga, we are lacking exalted brahmanas and all the dravyas needed for sacrifice, like yajna, like all the dravyas are adulterated, so we cannot perform. And the brahmanas are not that much educated to chant the proper mantras and all. So in the previous yugas and all, they, like King Vena also killed by the brahmanas by chanting proper mantras. So that much exalted devotees and exalted brahmanas were present in the previous yugas. But in this Kali Yuga, there is not, we don't have such a great brahmanas over here. So it's not possible for us to conduct any other sacrifice like Ashwamedha Yaga or something like that, but only prescribed yajna is a Sankirtana yajna, like chanting the Maha Mantra, like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is enough for Kali Yuga. Even if a devotee, like he is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he is not ready to do worship for deity worship, it is not actually necessary. If he is doing perfect chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is like that is enough for his self-realization and going back to Godhead. So that Sankirtana yajna, we have to, like Krishna consciousness, it's spread by the mercy of our Srila Prabhupada, and we have to support and we have to do proper chanting and all. That is the Sankirtana yajna movement. So in Srimad Bhagavatam says that Srimad Bhagavatam is only meant for non-envious people, because the person who is envious towards a Supreme Personality of Godhead or any other living entity, it's very difficult for him to progress in Krishna consciousness, because envious nature is actually it is a material nature. If a person in Krishna consciousness, he excel other devotee, the other devotee, he definitely won't think that he is progressing than me, but he will definitely think that he is so fortunate that he is progressing. In that mood is like actually spiritual mood. So here, even Indra, actually he is the king of heaven, but he is also possessing the same envious nature what we are experiencing this material world by normal human being like us. The same thing possessing by Indra also. So there is no different. Even a Jivatma can be able to, normal human being can be able to like perform so many pious activities and can be able to possess the position of Lord Indra. So in Indra Loga, like heaven also, the same thing, Kama, Krodha, Loga, Moha, Madhamalsa, everything is present. There is no difference. So the people who worship demigods, what they will think that like they will, for the benefit of material benefit, they will worship, but they don't understand that the real yajna is to worship the Supreme Personality of God. That is actually real yajna means. So by doing this one, all the earth also started providing all the things, and the rivers also started providing the all the taste, like it, the sour taste, sweet taste, and the pungent taste. All everything was because of this sacrifice done by Prithu Maharaja. So here we can see that the earth actually was with the full of all these, like what all things necessary, all everything was there. If we take the like this ocean and the sea, it is also with the full of like gold, like corals and jewels, everything was present. But people actually this going for ocean and sea for fishing and all. It's actually meant for Sudras and low grade people, but nowadays even so many people, they are going into deep into the sea for just the purpose of fishing. But by getting one piece of coral is actually, if so many tons of fishing, if people does, it cannot stand with a single piece of, because that much enough low abiding people can actually utilize this earth supplies like a corals, and but people are not at all using that, but only they are going inside the deep of the sea and they are fishing, and they are just killing this fish and they are eating for their material desires to fulfill their tongue. That purpose they are doing, but it's already present in this material world. Everything was created at the time of creation itself. So like that, after doing all such kind of sacrifices, like different hills and all this is things provided by chemicals and fertilizers, everything, and earth became like in a very good condition. And after that, he started the sacrifice. He started at the last sacrifice, 99 sacrifice Prithu Maharaj was conducting. At that time, Indra he came into the sacrificial arena, taking that as like not in his real position, disguised as a sannyasi, wearing a saffron cloth. So we should understand here also, like saffron, so many sannyasas are there in this material world, like not a single type of sannyasas, like Kapalika and the sannyasis who were just wearing saffron cloth, and sometimes without naked also sannyasis are roaming in this material world. But the real sannyasa is actually one who is a realized person and who can be able to devote all his or renounce all his fruitive like activities or fruits of his activities unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality. That is actually a real sannyasi. And but here in this material world, we can see sannyasis are just wearing this saffron dress, but they are doing so many unwanted activities. And at the end of the day, they are sometimes begging for their daily requirements, and at the end of the day, they will remove all their saffron clothes and they will start wearing jeans and top, and they will go for a outing and all. They will eat what all things they need, like meat, or they actually not using the pseudo sannyasis, not at all following any regulative principles and all. So here actually Indra he discussed as a sannyasi. This is not the first time we can see in our Puranas and all. Ramayana also, when Sita Devi was abducted by Ravana, he came in the dress of a sannyasi wearing a saffron dress, and also we can see this time immemorial, we can see so many pseudo sannyasis. But here Srila Prabhupada was saying that Indra is introduced this pseudo sannyasa or this type of like irreligious activities introduced by Indra. So he discussed and he stolen this horse sacrifice, the horse meant for the sacrifices, and he went away into the outer space. And at that time, Atri Muni saw this Indra was fleeing through the sky, and he informed this matter to King Prithu's son, and he chased this King Prithu's son chased Indra, but he just got an information, and after when he saw Indra wearing saffron dress and like disguised as a sannyasi, he thought that he is a real sannyasi. He hesitated to kill or do some harm to that sannyasi, and he came back. And Atri Muni again instructed him. Actually, he is Indra only. He is pretending like a sannyasi. He go and bring the horse and defeat that sannyasi. Again he went, and but at that time he was about to catch Lord Indra. He left the horse and went away. Again, the same thing happened, and he brought Ashwa to the sacrifice to the arena. Because of that, he got a name called Vijayadashwa. That means the one who won the horse. That Prithu Maharaj's son. And again, Indra came and he made a darkness, dense darkness over the sacrificial arena. And again, he took this horse away from the sacrificial arena. Again, Vijayadashwa, he chased Indra, and after seeing again in the sannyasa dress, he was not ready to take his arrow and bow. And finally, he was actually doing this times of religious activity, not for a single time. So many times he did this religious activity. So at that time, Prithu Maharaj became so much angry, and he was about to kill by taking his bow and arrow, about to kill Indra. But at that time, all the priests present over that place, he refused to kill Indra. They were saying that we are capable enough to chant the mantra, and by hearing this mantra, Lord Indra will definitely come to this arena. At that time, we can cast him into that fire and kill him. So they were about to chant that mantra to kill, to bring Lord Indra to the sacrificial arena. And at that time, Lord Brahma, he presented over that he himself appear near to this priest, and he refused to do chanting of mantra to kill Lord Indra. He started saying that you are not supposed to kill anybody, because the priest also advised Maharaj Prithu, saying that in the sacrificial arena, only animals are supposed to kill or supposed to sacrifice. No human beings are supposed to. That we should understand. Like why in this previous yuga they were doing sacrifice, like animal sacrifice, because they were the brahmanas are that much capable to chant proper mantra, so that the animal who sacrificed already will get a new life. After the sacrifice, definitely they will get a new life, like promoted to from animal life to a higher life or higher jiva. So that was the benefit of doing sacrifice. But people nowadays, for their belly purpose, to fulfill their belly, to please their tongue and all, they used to kill animals, and they are saying that this actually it is recommended. In Vedas, it is recommended. There is no problem for such kind of activities. But here, Lord Brahma, he was saying that he was saying to Maharaja Prithu, he was saying that this Lord Indra is as great as, like, almost great as Lord Vishnu, because he is supporting all the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you are not supposed to kill such an, because we should understand in front of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everybody is same. But Krishna says that if a person who is preaching about me and who is glorifying me, such a devotee is he is more important for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is some partiality for devotees. Otherwise, in front of Supreme Personality of Godhead, all Atmas are, all Jivatmas, all living entities are same. There is no difference at all. So Lord Brahma was instructing Prithu Maharaja, saying that you are not supposed to kill Lord Indra, because Lord Indra, because you are conducting the sacrifices here, all the sacrifice here, and calling all the demigods. Because when a person conducts a sacrifice, there is all the demigods can be able to come and take their oblation. So that purpose you are conducting, and every day all demigods are present over the sacrifice, and these all demigods are part and parcel of Lord Indra. So how you can kill the king of heaven, because already these demigods are part and parcel of Indra. So in that way, he was instructing Prithu Maharaj, saying that you don't want to complete your 100 Ashwamedha Yaka. It is not actually for a devotee. No need to do any sacrifice. If he is devoted, or he is doing such a service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is a great devotee, no need to do any material activities or for the material benefit. So without doing 100 sacrifice, he is blessed by the mercy of Lord Brahma, he is so blessed, and he is as good as a person who already conducted 100 Ashwamedha Yaga, because Lord Indra already, he is known as Chatha Kratu. That means he is already conducted 100 Ashwamedha, and more than that, only by conducting 99 sacrifice, he gained the position, or he gained the same benefit of doing by 99 sacrifice, and he gained the benefit of doing 100 sacrifice. So even like at that time, Prithu Maharaj, he is a Sakyavash avatar of Supreme Personality of God. He was about to neglect Lord Brahma's advice, but he actually he is ready to follow the instruction of, because Lord Brahma is in the position of Prithu Maharaj's spiritual master. He does not want to do the offense, like third offense every day we are doing, to disobey the orders of spiritual master. So Prithu Maharaj was not ready to disobey his spiritual master, so he accepted that, and the today's verse we will see. So in the today's verse, it's a great sloga from Bhagavad Gita 3.21. Srila Prabhupada started with the great sloga. Yaddat acharati sreshta tattat eva tarojana sad yat pramanam kurude logastat anuvartate. Whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So we should understand that it's like if a politician or some great personalities, and even some children, they are copying their parents, saying that he is doing such kind of activities. For me, he is my great hero. So we are actually ready to follow some politicians' activities and all. And here he is saying that Indra has introduced so many irreligious activities, and if Prithu Maharaj again provoke him, and if he is going to conduct the last sacrifice like 100th Ashwamedha, then he will again got provoked, and there is a chance for him to do so many unwanted irreligious activities again and again. So there is a chance he will start like another society, irreligious society. Like in this material world, so many people, they are saying that I am God, they are themselves acting like a God, and they are doing so many mystic activities and all. So they are themselves saying that I am God. But here Indra, he is afraid. Lord Brahma is instructing him. There is a chance for Indra to start in some other religious activities. So he is the king of heaven. So many people, they are worshipping demigods. So by seeing Lord Indra's activities, like religious activities, there is chance of the people in general, they can copy Lord Indra. So you will be the cause of that. Like people, if they are following, means who is the cause? Definitely Prithu Maharaj, because he is like he was conducting the last sacrifice, and because of that envious nature towards Prithu Maharaj, he will definitely do, or he will start some other religious society. So this is the cause is actually Prithu Maharaj. So that also will come into your on your head. So better not to provoke. So that is example given with the 3.21. So we should understand that, because when Srila Prabhupada introduced this ISKCON in America, actually people were actually sleeping over there, but in India people were pretending like they were sleeping. So his Guru Maharaj told him to go and spread Krishna consciousness in Western world. So he went over there and he introduced the ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So these American people are now, they are European and American people, they are doing like they became great devotees. Now in our Bharatavarsha, people are coping, because they are doing a one, like if they do something activities, not good activities and bad activities, we are considering that America is a great country. These people are they are so many scientists and all, they are doing such kind of activities, and they are doing Krishna consciousness also. So we are ready to copy that American people. So nowadays in our India also, so many Krishna conscious like devotees are also we can see, because of that copy nature. So here Lord Brahma was also fearful about that. That's why he was saying that you should not provoke Lord Indra. So from the purport, we can see, for his own sense gratification, King Indra thought to defeat Maharaja Prithu in the performance of 100 horse sacrifice. So here we can see the envious nature of Lord Indra. Because of that envious nature only, he put so many impediments. That's why he put a different type of sannyasas. So envious nature, because of that envious nature, different sannyasa we can see. But the real sannyasa nowadays we can see the Vaishnava sannyasi, they are Tridanda sannyasi. That means their mind, their body, mind, and activities,
Words.
words, all active, body, mind, and words, all surrender to the Supreme Person for the purpose of serving the Supreme Person they are using. That is the real sannyasi. Other all sannyasas like Mayavadi, Ekadanda sannyasis, what they are, even Vaishnava sannyas, their soul also they are using for the purpose of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in Ekadanda sannyas, also Mayavadi sannyasis, they are saying that they are one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So such a kind of sannyasas are already here, and so many sannyasa systems, pseudo, and all this because of their his Lord Indra's envious nature towards Maharaj Pradhu. Because of that, the sannyasas, pseudo sannyasas, all introduced. So Srila Prabhupada, he is straight away he's saying that the first inventor of all this pseudo sannyasa is from Lord Indra. So, and in the previous chapters, we can see Vena, the father of this Maharaja Prithu, he was the first communist. So Srila Prabhupada, in one lecture also I heard that he's the first, he's the one who introduced the communism in the entire universe. Because when Maharaja was doing lots of atrocities to his subject, like all the living entity, and he was Brahmanas, he killed by chanting proper this mantra, and from his body, by churning his body, from the lower part of the body, one type of living entity called Nishada, and it is a representation of communism. And this Brahmanas send this Nishada like to the northern portion of the universe, and from there communism started. So same way, from Indra's envious nature towards Maharaja Prithu, here he introduced a different type of sannyasas. So consequently, he stole the horse and hid himself amid so many irreligious personalities taking on the false guise of sannyasi. So we can see in the Leelamrita also, when Srila Prabhupada was very small, his father used to bring so many sannyasi, like wearing saffron. Whenever he meet some sannyasi wearing some saffron dress, he used to bring them, and he used to do service for them and give obeisances. So, but he was not believing on this, because till the time he met his real spiritual master, he was not believing such like pseudo sannyasis, because the entire, like from morning till evening, these sannyasis used to wear this saffron dress, as already said, and at the end of the day, when they, for the day-to-day lives necessities are fulfilled by begging or some other purpose, some other activities, then end of the day, by this money, what they used to do, they used to go for some nightclub and all, they used to do so many unwanted things and all. So he was never used to accept such kind of sannyasi. But when he met his guru Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he started believing, because there is a not false sannyasa, these real sannyasis are also there. So such activities are attractive to the people in general, because sannyasi, if they are doing for pseudo sannyasa, and that's why people are going behind the sannyasi who is doing some mystic activities, and he is saying that I am the god and I can fulfill your material desires and all. So this is the cause is Indra only, and therefore they are dangerous. They are dangerous also because they are misguiding. Because the real sannyasa, they cannot be able to follow the real sannyasa. So Lord Brahma thought that instead of allowing Indra to further introduce such a religious system, it would be better to stop the sacrifice. So for that purpose, Lord Brahma, he told Prithu Maharaj, you no need to complete your sacrifice, because he already gained. Because that we should understand that by doing the service unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we can gain the real purpose, or we can be able to self-realize, so no need to do any material. For a devotee, karma, because it's all coming under karma, no need to perform any karma, because if you do nice karmas also, Shine Punya Martilagovich, that we have to come again in this material world, and again we have to be in the cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. So karma is not needed for any devotees actually. Karma sannyasa is needed, but a realized person can be able to perform karma in the mood of sannyasi. Like we can renounce all the result of our activities unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here we can see how this Lord Buddha introduced the Ahimsa philosophy, because people were misusing the Vedas, because Vedas told that we can perform sacrifice, animal sacrifice, but for the great purpose only we have to perform some animal purpose. So in the previous yugas, they were conducting, Brahmanas were conducting animal sacrifices, not a regular sacrifice, but when any droughts or any floods or famine, anything happens, they used to conduct for the great purpose. But people in general, what they thought that we can also kill the animals, because sacrifice means we already sacrificed, and the remnants we can eat. That was what it was doing by the olden days. But at that time, that sacrifice, the animal sacrifice in that sacrifice was getting a new life. But nowadays, nobody is chanting any mantra, and they are just killing the animal for their belly purpose, and that animal is not going to get any further life. So they were doing continuously himsa, and Buddha came to introduce ahimsa, and people asked, it is already written in Veda, why can't we utilize this? So Buddha told that just to defy this Veda and just to follow ahimsa. So ahimsa and that introduced by Lord Buddha. So actually in the sacrifice, the slaughtered animal that already we have seen is getting. Therefore, Lord Buddha had to deny the authority of Veda. So we might not think, people may think that a Veda is actually is full of nonsense, but a Veda is actually meant to for following this Veda, like a demigod worship and all, and doing other karmic actions and all, we can finally attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But people in general, they are not reading Vedas or all these things not in a proper way, and just taking some points from Vedas, and they are leading a nonsense life. And here is saying that one should not perform sacrifice that will induce a reversed order. So Prithu Maharaj was instructed by Lord Brahma, if something happens because of providential this thing, you should not be worried about that. This is the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So no need to perform your last sacrifice. So that's one should not perform sacrifice that will induce reversed orders. So in this Kali Yuga, only this thing what we should do, the sacrifice is Sankirtana movement, like Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the real yajna, that means real yajna means to understand who is the Supreme Personality and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the real yajna. So worship, and in the 6th canto, Sukadeva Goswami is giving instruction to Parikshit Maharaj, saying that out of all the worship of the Supreme Personality is the real worship, and that is the real sacrifice. So we should also understand that because in the upcoming sentence it's given that people like in Calcutta and all, people are killing the animals and placing Mother Kali's photo in the butcher shop and all, saying that we are already this given the oblation to Mother Kali, and we can eat that, because they are worshiping the demigod. They don't know the purpose, or they don't know the meaning of real yajna. Real yajna means worship, because when Brahma created this material world, he created with this yajna and sacrifice. Yajna means Vishnu. So sacrifice means doing service and do this or worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So people are not aware about who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they are simply worshipping all other demigods. So Calcutta people, normally in the northern part of North India and all, they used to worship Mother Kali, and doing such kind of offerings and all. They used to kill animals, and so many people used to have this prasadam, saying that we already offered to Mother Kali, now we are eating the remnants of Mother Kali. But we all know that Mother Kali is the wife of the great Vaishnavana Medhashambhu, Lord Shiva, and he used to eat, Lord Shiva used to eat Krishna prasada only. So Krishna Prasada he is eating means that definitely Mother Kali will eat the remnants of Lord Shiva only. So she used to eat the remnants of Lord Shiva, that means Krishna Prasada only. And people are thinking that directly they are eating from the remnants of Mother Kali. But when we are sacrificing these animals and offering to Mother Kali, it's not going directly to Mother Kali. The Kalis, all other Bhudas and Pishajas are eating the remnants, and people is getting the remnants of Pishajas and Rakshasas. So they are like again they are in the mood of Pishajas and Rakshasas. They don't know the benefit of eating Krishna Prasada. So Krishna Prasada can, by eating Krishna Prasada can clear our soul, and the soul is getting when we eat some prasada, it is normal food that will nourish our body, material body, but when we eat Krishna Prasada, it will definitely nourish our soul. So that people are not aware about that. They will definitely, instead of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they will worship demigods, and they will create such kind of unnecessary disturbance to the entire world by sacrificing animals and all. So we should understand that this the Kali Yuga, only our yajna is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the Sankirtana movement. He is none other than Krishna in the form of it says that Kali Kale Nama Rupana Krishna Avadara. That means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this material world and he introduced Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Krishna is he present in his name, like vibration. It's his name, and he's present in his name itself. So that means Hari Nama Prabhu. So we should perform, because we don't have enough qualified brahmanas to perform other sacrifices like horse sacrifices and all. So if a person who is ready to accept this Hare Krishna Mahamantra or the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, their life is like a successful life. Otherwise, they are like they will definitely go behind such kind of sannyasa, like what the Indra is introduced. Definitely they will go in the path of pseudo sannyasa, and they will not gain anything in their life. So they will be same like envious towards all other living entities, and they will definitely like cannot improve their progress in their Krishna conscious life. So only thing we have to understand, the so many points from Srila Prabhupada's purport, we can understand that what is the purpose of sacrifice and all, and what sacrificial we are doing. Sacrifice animals are getting new life and all, and qualified brahmanas are necessary for that, and we are in this Kali Yuga lacking such kind of qualified brahmanas, and envious nature leading to so many unwanted religious activities. And a devotee is not like a devotee, if he is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for him it is not necessary to do any karmic action, like you not need to perform any karma. He can like just surrender unto the lotus of feet of the Supreme Personality, and he can like all the result of fruitive activity he can devote it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And without doing 100 sacrifices, he is like we can see 100 sacrifices more. 99 sacrifices are more better than 100 sacrifices, because Lord Indra performed 100 sacrifices for his material purpose only, but here Pradhu Maharaja 99 sacrifices he has performed for the welfare of the entire subject of his country. And after that he got blessings from Brahma without doing 100, and he got the same benefit of doing 100 sacrificial performances. And what is the benefit if we perform Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Is because Kali Yuga Satya is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can do benefit to the entire world, we can change the world. And that we should understand from this entire chapter. So many like takeaway points are there, and remaining points please, I am begging for Sivana Prabhu and Sudarshan Vasudeva Prabhu to add more point on this subject. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Thank you very much for your detail. It's actually very, very important purport. Lot of points are there about this non-vegetarian and how they are offering to Kali. Everything you have covered it very beautifully. Where it's very important messages were there. And the lesson learned is that not the sacrifice is very important, but whether we are pleasing the Lord, that is very important. So thus Prithu Maharaj stopped at the 99th lesson on instruction of the superiors like Lord Brahma. That message also you conveyed very clearly. So thank you very much, Mataji, for putting your efforts in enlightening on this verse and purport. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. As usual, wonderful class, Mataji. Chapter, yes, all the chapter you have explained well, especially today's verse. Very clearly you have stated everything. And very good purport also by Srila Prabhupada. It's a wonderful expert purport. And today is very auspicious day that Srila Prabhupada reached in USA in 1965 on the same day, 17th September, to spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. So we are here. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very true, Prabhu. Because of that, only we are reading Bhagavatam today.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
we are eternally indebted to the sacrifice made by Srila Prabhupada.
Sure. Yes, thank you. That I wanted to just.
Because in Kali Yuga, there are a lot of spiritual societies. 90% are bogus, as Mataji explained already.
Yes.
95,
99,
99 are bogus. Yes, they have some hidden agenda.
Yes.
Krishna consciousness, what Srila Prabhupada has spread, is most authoritative because it is based on scriptures. It is not his own thoughts. No, it is based on scriptures, and he did not change it. He did not dilute it. He did not alter it for present, people. He presented as it is, and that's why it is very powerful because it is not changed. And whoever is following also as it is, they also become powerful and purified. So we are very fortunate to be under the shelter of Prabhupada and the Srila Prabhupada disciples. So we'll thank for them for their wonderful services and establishing ISKCON all over the world and giving shelter to many souls. We will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for all the Prabhupada disciples. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Just one more point. Just Mataji explained Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3.21. So whatever action is performed by great man, common man follow in his footsteps. So whatever standards he set by example. So in Krishna, so Srila Prabhupada also says that a lot of examples. So Yudhishthira Maharaja and Ramachandra, King Lord Ramchandra. So also the Krishna, whatever the importance of to become Krishna conscious, they became all devotees. So we are all. So in Bhagavad Gita also say Bhagavad also says Mahajanasu Tavasya. So we will follow the footsteps of the senior leaders. That is Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. So all this all this means in materially or spiritually. So we have to follow the footsteps of the spiritual leaders. So in Shiksha Guru, they show our Guru Maharaj whatever service is doing. Diksha. So how he is spending his life full 24 hours. So just like we are also the neophyte devotees also step looking for the Shiksha Guru, who are these Shiksha Guru's footsteps. So they are also the role model of this all these neophytes. So sometimes some mistakes are going on. So how we can correct that one, Prabhu? So means personally.
Thank you, Vasudh. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for giving your inputs on this, Sadananda Shyam Prabhu. Anybody else would like to add any comments or any questions, please?
Krishna Prabhu, Prabhu asked a question also. At the end, Prabhu asked a question.
So What was the question? I did not listen.
If Shishaguru is performing any, like because Shishaguru's other neophyte devotees are considering them as a role model. If they are performing some wrong things, how we can personally, how we can clear or how we can deal with that?
Oh, who is Shiksha Guru is doing wrong thing?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Actually, Guru Maharaj has already given answer for this, Prabhu. Like, see, somebody is senior. Senior means you cannot go and directly tell them, but you can tell in a very, like in a very polite way with, how should I understand this or something like that, because we cannot directly go and, criticize or fire them. Or you have to go to the person who is higher than him and tell him if he's not repeatedly doing the same. Whoever is higher than him, we have to go to them and tell, and from them they have to instruct. We cannot go and directly instruct. That is not the protocol. We can tell, but yes, Guru Maharaj, some devotee asked the same question, and he replied that there is a way how to deal, especially with the who are actually in the position of Shiksha Guru. We can ask them that the scripture says like that, but this is happening like this. How should I understand? Like that, in a very nice way. And if at all, if it is again repeated or something, then we should only take it to the next higher level, whoever is higher to him. Then from there he can ask, with that kind of authority. But we cannot do it with authority.
Oh, okay. Correct.
It will create unnecessary problems.
Sir.
Yes. At the same time, we cannot ignore also, no problem. Sometimes maybe something are serious, we cannot ignore. So that time we have to go to the higher authorities. That's why we have in ISKCON, we have GBC. Below GBC, there is a zonal supervisor. That means one for like Middle East means there Middle East. Then below Middle East, there is zonal supervisor. Below zonal, then there is like that. There are a lot of positions. So whoever is higher to that person, he can go to them.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So we'd like to express our gratitude to Mataji also, because she has put a lot of efforts in preparation and explaining this verse and purport very nicely. We will chant for Mataji also, for her and her family, for Lord Krishna's blessings. We will take the shelter of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
And today evening we will not have this regular Srimad Bhagavatam class, because today evening in Abbasiya we are having a special celebration, Vyasa Puja celebration for His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. So most of the devotees will be going there. So I think Sudarshan Vasudeva Prabhu already communicated in the group. So just to remind that there will be no class today evening for Srimad Bhagavatam, and next Saturday we will resume the class. Hare Krishna. So Sudarshan Vasudeva Prabhu, you would want to announce anything?